Hi, can you hear me?
I certainly can.
Hi, I can hear you. Hi,
How are you?
I'm Jennifer Cadell.
Ma'am, hold on one second. The judge is coming out. Hi, Steve. Sir, I still have the civil department finding out where you are supposed to be, okay?
I received a notice that it is before Judge Martin, I believe.
Okay, as soon as they call me, I'll let you know.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Marianne. Okay. Okay, Marianne. This is 211946 LT Evergreen Town and Country versus Jennifer Cadell. Appearances, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. For the record, Steve Robinson appearing on behalf of Evergreen Town and Country.
Ma'am, Yes, would you state your name for me, please? Jennifer Cadell. Today is the day and time set for hearing on the termination of tenancy. Are the parties ready to proceed?
Your Honor, I believe Ms. Cadell is represented by counsel.
There is no attorney listed on the ROA, and there's no appearance in the file. Ms. Cadell, are you represented?
He just called me. 1 second.
Just, what is his name?
Andrew.
Robbery occurred several days after when a man.
Sorry.
Andrew what?
His last name is Albright.
Okay, Mr. Robinson, we don't have an appearance, and I don't know who this person is. I'll put the file on the side for now. Have you been in communication with
Yes,
Mr. Albright?
I have, Your Honor, and he appeared at the last, or the initial what do you call it? The pre-trial, the initial pre-trial. And I have had correspondence with him, so.
Okay, then I'll put the matter on the side for now.
Judge, I have another matter. With
The one that I have in my hand that I'm about to call?
That would be the one.
Okay. I would try if you would stop interrupting me, but you know. 212135 LT. Tina Green versus Siobhan Bill.
Again, for the record, Steve Robinson appearing on behalf of Tina Green.
I just saw Ms. Bill. Mr. Robinson, she was just in the room.
Okay. Judge, can you give me that case number again? Because there were actually two.
212135 LT.
Okay.
Did you have another one?
Well, there were two matters. One was a non-payment of rent against Ms. Bell. That one was taken care of, but we had also filed on a 30-day, which is the case that you have, that you just called.
The only two cases I saw for you, and this is Ms. Bell right here. Good morning, ma'am.
Good
Ms.
morning,
Bell, would you state your name for the record, please?
Siobhan Bell.
Mr. Robinson, are you ready to proceed in this matter?
I am, Your Honor.
Ms. Bell, are you ready to proceed this morning?
Yes,
Will you be representing yourself?
yes,
Mr. Robinson, is your client available?
I believe she would have been checking in, Your Honor. Well, let me ask you this, Judge, because I've had discussions with Ms. Bell. Ms. Bell, have you moved out?
You have to say it,
No.
ma'am. Thank you.
no,
Okay.
Do you need to speak with her in a breakout room, Mr. Robinson?
Yeah, if I could, Judge, that'd be great.
And then I see that Mr. Albright is here. Would you need to speak to him as well?
Yes, that'd be great.
Mary Ann, if you could move Mr. Robinson first with Ms. Bell and then with Mr. Albright. Thank you. Mary Ann, if you tell me who's ready, that's what I'll call.
Okay. Mr. Katz is here. Dominic Bell, I'm bringing her in. That's a match.
hello?
This is 211885 LT Barrington Romulus Apartments versus Dominique Bell.
Good morning, Your Honor. Sidney Katz, P51471 on behalf of the plaintiff.
Good morning,
State your name for me, please, ma'am.
Dominique Bell.
When the parties appeared back on May 19, 2021, it was indicated that the defendant was applying for SARA funds. Ms. Bell, have you completed that application?
I completed the application April 15th and I called them May 23rd and I asked them about it and they said that, I think it was May 23rd, I'm sorry. But they said that I should reapply because they didn't receive the information from the apartment complex. So I had contacted office personnel, Katie, and I spoke with her and she said that she did fill out the information and I have not heard back from them because I did not refill out the application, but my application says that it was received.
Mr. Katz, has your client received information that there's a SARA application pending?
So, Your Honor, I don't show that as, I do have some of the cases showing as Sarah. This one is not. I'm going to contact my client and see why this is not showing up as a Sarah. It's not like they haven't done a lot of Sarah applications already. So I'm sort of surprised that it doesn't show up if she has filled it out.
And I do have
Based
the
on this-
application.
Ma'am, based on Ms. Bell's representation that she has applied for SARA funds, Mr. Katz? How are we proceeding in this matter?
We can either, if I can contact my client just to confirm that there is a Sarah, if I could take a couple minutes.
Ms. Bell, if you sit tight, he'll check on that, and if they are able to confirm that they've received notification of the SARA filing, we'll be staying in this matter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, can I give
Sit
them the
tight.
Sarah ID that I have?
Perfect. Yes.
Okay, so the number that they gave me is 1125557.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're
I'll be
welcome.
right back.
I do. Okay. Because it wasn't on the docket. I just want to make sure we had it. Oh, it was on the docket. I read it last night. Thank you. Okay. Mary Ann,
Yes,
who's ready? Who's next?
I'm bringing in Harris. That is, with,
Mr. Katz.
that's with
you might
Mr.
be
Katz,
on the
yes.
phone.
Mhm.
Let's see if he's on the phone or if he's.
I'm here.
Thank you. Mr. Harris is connecting the audio. I brought in two more of the attorneys.
Mr. Tucker is, one of Mr. Katz, who's here.
If I can go
Thank you,
into
ma'am.
breakout rooms with the ones that are here for mine, is that possible?
Yeah, it's possible. Mary Ann, if you would take care of that,
Yes, I will.
please.
Thank you.
You want them one at a time?
Yeah, I think that makes sense. And then once I pop back in, we'll just put them back with the next person in. Thank you.
Mr. Kapperstein, what are you here for?
I am here on case number 212094, Detroit Metro Airport Center versus JW Logistics Operations LLC.
They just brought the ROE in. Who are you representing?
Detroit Metro Airport Center LLC.
They have Walter Graves
I am-
listed as the attorney.
I'm in Mr. Graves' office.
Thank you, sir.
You are very welcome.
Is JW represented? Let me find the file.
JW Logistics does not oppose a judgment for possession. I spoke with a Kevin Scrivener. He called me from Texas, stating that they are not going to oppose a judgment for possession.
Mr. Kapperstein, if you'll sit tight for a moment, I think Mary Ann's trying to pull people in and get them matched up at about 9:15 if no one's appeared for them, as well as Mr. Kosinski's case. Kosinski? We'll give you the defaults in those two matters. Mary Ann, if you want to.
I'm just bringing some people in to see who they are.
Yeah.
Miss Valley, can you hear me? Hi, Miss Valley, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hi, what case are you here for this morning?
Brewington?
Brewington, what?
Tierra
I
Brewington?
see it. It's 2134. And are you representing Ms. Brewington?
I am not. I was asked to be here on behalf of the companies.
Didn't bring goldfish, sorry. Sorry, I totally forgot.
You're here on
Judge.
behalf of Westlake?
Yes. Judge,
Correct.
she's my client, Judge.
Mr. Herman.
This is court. Sorry, I just wanted to let you know she's my client.
Thank you.
Didn't mean to,
No, you're fine. It's just a morning.
I know. And you've got 1,000 Brady Bunchers here.
Miss Alexander, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Your Honor.
This is the court recorder. What case are you here for this morning?
I'm the community manager for Metro Commons, so landlord tenant.
Yara Brewington.
This is 212134 LT Westlake Apartments versus Tara Brewington.
Richard Herman,
Appearances, thank you.
Richard Herman on behalf of the plaintiff. Judge, Ms. Brewington is here. I just got a call from her attorney, whose name is Arthur Brand. I sent him documents last night that I was going to introduce today at trial, just as I did to your email or your clerk's email. And I got a call this morning saying that he is on 2 other Zooms and he will not be able to make it till 11 o'clock. And I told him I would pass that on to you, and that's what I'm doing.
Ms. Brewington,
Yes, ma'am.
have you been in communication with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am. He got the documents pretty late last night, so
Ma'am, did he advise you that he's not going to be available until 11?
yes, ma'am.
Mr. Herman, are you willing to Zoom back on at 11?
I am, Judge.
Ms. Brewington, I'm going to put your file on the side till 11. If you want to leave and come back at that time, that's fine with me.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You know what? Can I
No
just
problem.
chime in one more second? If I may ask, Ms. Brewington, if you want to contact your attorney and let him know that we're going to do it at 11, that would probably be
Absolutely.
helpful. That would be helpful.
Yes.
Thanks, Judge.
Mr. Robinson, you're back.
Sorry, Judge.
Are you ready to proceed on either of your files?
Yeah, on Ms. Green, or I'm sorry, on Siobhan Bell, Tina Green versus Siobhan Bell.
Recalling 212135 LT. The parties have had an opportunity to speak.
We have, Your Honor, we've reached a consent.
And the terms of that consent?
Your Honor, this is the date and time set for a meeting or hearing on termination of tenancy. The parties have agreed that Ms. Bell will vacate on or before, actually, Judge, it was June 20th, but I noticed that that was a Sunday, so we'll make it June 21st.
Ms. Bell, did you hear what the attorney just said? Ms. Bell?
Me, Dominique?
Siobhan Bell?
Yes.
Did you hear what
Yes.
Mr. Robinson just said?
Yes. Hello?
And you're agreeing to
Yes.
move by June 21st, 2021?
Yes.
And are you authorizing Mr. Robinson to sign your name to a judgment that indicates that you will vacate the property by June 21st?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson, how are you? Thank you. Mr. Robinson, you're going to submit that judgment by email?
I am, Your Honor.
Ms. Bell, do you have any questions or anything else in this matter?
No.
We're all set, ma'am. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you. And were you ready on the Cadell matter?
No, Your Honor, I think we're going to go on a breakout room. The other attorney hadn't appeared yet.
He's here. Mary Ann will move Mr. Robinson, Mr. Ebright into a breakout room.
Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Katz, what are you back on?
Your Honor, I do have a consent with Mr. Tucker. Do I need to go on the record or can we submit?
Let me get the file. Is he back with you,
He's in
Mr.
the
Tucker?
Yeah.
This is 211890 Barrington versus Tucker.
Good morning, Your Honor. Sidney Katz, P51471 on behalf of the plaintiff. Your Honor, defendant and I had a discussion. We did agree to a consent judgment on this matter. This is a non-payment rent possession only case. There's a balance due as of today of $1,698. Mr. Tucker is aware that he has until June 14th to pay that amount. And he was advised of MCR 4.201 and did agree for the submission of the consent verbally with his approval.
Mr. Tucker,
Yes, ma'am.
can you turn your video on for me, please? Did you hear what Mr. Cash just said?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's the judgment that you wish to agree to?
Yes, ma'am.
And he's explaining your rights pursuant to MCR 4.201?
Yes.
And you're in agreement that $1,698 is due for the pay by date of June 14, 2021?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that Mr. Cass is going to submit a consent judgment with those terms?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions this morning, Mr. Tucker?
No, ma'am.
We're all set. Have a good day, sir. You may log off. Mr. Cass will wait for your consent judgment.
Thank you, Your Honor. If I can go to breakout with Mr. Harris.
I'm here.
Sir, you're going to see an invitation to join the attorney in the breakout room.
Okay.
Thank you.
Your representative is working hard to take your call.
Mr. Clark?
Hello?
Sir, what are you here for this morning?
Hi, how's it going? I had a court case. I didn't receive a notice, but I've been keeping up with it every week, looking it up and whatnot. And it said that—
Mr. Clark?
Yes, ma'am.
What type of case is it, sir?
It's for
If I could intervene here, he's
DUI?
I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off, but you're supposed to be here tomorrow at 9:30.
Oh, tomorrow. Okay.
We'll see you tomorrow, Mr. Clark. Have a good day.
All right. Thank you. You as well.
This is 212094 LT Detroit Metro Airport Center versus JW Logistics Operations.
Warren Kipperstein appearing on behalf of the plaintiff, Detroit Metro Airport Center LLC. The defendant in this case was served on 3 occasions by posting on the leased premises, that being 5/18/2021, 5/19/2021, and 5/20/2021. I did have a conversation with a representative of the defendant, JW Logistics Operations LLC. They were not going to oppose the judgment for possession. The current amount of monies owed on the premises is $63,511.42. I did also call Kevin Scribner, who did speak with me originally. I spoke to him yesterday. I apprised him of the court date today, along with the ID Zoom number. He didn't call me back. I left my number, and I assume that he still does not have an objection. The defendant does not have an objection to a default judgment for possession being entered.
Mr. Kipperstein, this matter was scheduled at 9 o'clock. It's now 9:18 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, default judgment shall enter. If you submit that to the court, they'll send it up for signature.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else, sir?
Nothing else, Your Honor.
Have a good day.
You too. Stay well.
Thank you. This is 211777 LT Wellesley Townhouse Cooperative versus Latia Davis. Appearance, please.
Your Honor, Rick Kaczynski appearing on behalf of the plaintiff Wellesley Townhouse Cooperative.
Mr. Kaczynski, there is no one by the name of Latia Davis, Latia or Davis in the court's virtual waiting room. This matter was scheduled for 9 o'clock. It's now 9:19. How do you wish to proceed?
Your Honor, we'd seek a default judgment. We also prayed for a money judgment.
The amounts due, sir?
Your Honor, there's $1,292 in rent, $239 in court costs, and that includes
I'm sorry, $238 in court costs?
39, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And so the total is $1,531. And we'd ask for the statutory writ date of, I believe, June 14th.
Inasmuch as the defendant has failed to appear as duly scheduled, default judgment will enter in favor of plaintiff and against defendant as indicated on the record. Sir, if you submit that judgment to the civil department, the court will enter the judgment.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else this morning?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Have a good day, sir.
You too.
Mr. Robinson, are the parties ready to proceed?
We're ready to proceed with you, Judge. We're going to request an adjournment on this. Is brother counsel on there? I don't see.
He is. This is 211949. How long of an adjournment are you looking for?
Your Honor, are you doing the 3-week rotations now? I'm not sure how the court is. It used to be.
We're flexible.
Oh, Andrew, how much time do you think we need? A couple weeks?
Is to however long it takes to get the stuff, and then maybe 1 week after that. I would imagine.
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. I would imagine 3 weeks would be fine, but
Why don't we do that to be on the safe side, Judge? We're still exchanging some documents on this that I think might help resolve the matter. So,
Mr. Ebright, you never did put your appearance on the record.
Andrew Ebright on behalf of defendant Jennifer Cadell and all other occupants.
Your P number?
82763.
We haven't received an appearance from you as of yet.
I believed I had sent it. If I'll resubmit it regardless.
Mary Ann, 3 weeks puts us at, yeah, I keep saying we need a calendar out here and there still isn't one.
I'm sorry, June 16th. No, I'm sorry, June 23rd.
June 23rd, what's our docket for that day?
You are open that day.
I am open that day? How did that work out?
Lucky.
This matter will be adjourned to June 23rd, 2021 at 9 a.m. Anything else, Mr. Robinson?
no, Your Honor. Thank
Anything
you.
else, Mr. Ebright?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you much. We'll see you all in a couple of weeks.
Okay, have a good day.
Thank you. Mr. Katz, are you back with, who were you with?
So I have two of them, Dominique Bell and Stephen Harris. Both have indicated that they've applied for Sarah. They did provide Sarah numbers. I guess we'll just do a administrative stay at this point. I will inform
This
my
is-
client. Oh, sorry.
211885 LT Barrington Romulus Apartments versus Dominique Bell.
Good morning, Your Honor. Sidney Katz, P51471 on behalf of the plaintiff. Your Honor, the defendant had indicated that they did apply for Sarah. They did provide a Sarah number. I informed my client to ensure that they submit their landlord application. So if we could place this on an administrative stay.
I'll make indication the file, send it back down to the civil department that this matter will be stayed inasmuch as the defendant has filed an application for Sarah funds. Ms. Bell,
Yes.
any questions?
So I don't need to resubmit a new application at this moment?
That's between you and the housing authority. This The court's just taking you at your word, and Mr. Katz has indicated that he's notified his client, and pursuant to administrative order, the matter will be stayed. If you need to submit documents to the HARA, whichever one it is, you should continue to do that and follow up with whoever's assigned to the matter.
Okay.
Okay? Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
We're all set. Have a good day, ma'am.
You do the same. Thank you.
This is 211889 LT Barrington versus Stephen Harris. I have you, Mr. Katz. Mr. Harris,
Yes, ma'am.
state your name for me, please.
Stephen Harris.
Mr. Harris, Mr. Katz also indicated that you were applying for SARA funds. Is that accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
As in the case before you, the matter will be stayed administratively while your application is pending.
Okay.
Do you have any questions this morning, sir?
No, ma'am.
We're all set. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Marianne, I'm telling you.
Do you mind if I bring some of these people that?
Absolutely. Bring them in, please.
Thank you. Hi, good morning, sir. What case are you here for this morning? Sir, with the goatee,
Yes,
what case are you here for?
Country Metals,
What is your name?
Dennis Can.
Can you spell your last name, please?
CANN.
Judge, do you have that?
Sir, is there someone else's name on the notice as well?
No,
In the upper,
I
do
was
you
in
have your
court
court
last
notice
week.
handy?
yes,
In the upper right-hand corner of that notice is a case number. Would you give me the case number, please?
212032 LT.
Thank you. I don't have that matter on the docket.
I was just in court
If
last
you,
Wednesday.
sir, if you will sit tight for just 1 second, my secretary is going to bring in some other people and we'll check on your case. You don't have to leave the courtroom. Just sit tight for a second, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, Marianne. Mr. Can, you're actually due back next week, June the 9th.
Okay.
June the 9th at 9 a.m. I'm looking at the court schedule right now.
Oh, because she told me June 2nd, last Wednesday.
I understand, but I just checked the court's computer. You're supposed to be here next week. You'll be with me again.
Okay. The
Thank you,
same
sir.
ID number?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Nichols. Can you hear me?
Yes, good morning.
Hi, what case are you here for this morning, please?
I am here on the Kirkridge Park versus Ashley Kroll matter. Do you need the case number?
That would be helpful, yes, thank you.
Okay, it's 2138.
Great, thank you.
Marianne, if you could give me just one moment.
Yes.
I was
Mr.
just on
Landau,
the,
I only see you having I only see you having 2 cases this morning. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor. Good morning.
Sir, Mr. Landau, 211874 LT Belleville Metals versus Terry Dixon.
Mark Landau on behalf of the plaintiff. Good to see
This
you.
matter,
Good to see you behind the other side of the bench. Except that there's a computer screen in the way. I can barely see you.
it's as tall
There
as
we
I
go.
am. Mr. Landau, this matter was scheduled for 9 o'clock. It's now 9:29 by the court's clock. There was no one by the name of Terry Dixon, or Terry in the court's virtual waiting room. Inasmuch as the defendant has failed to appear this morning, how do you wish to proceed?
We are asking that a default judgment of possession enter at this time, Your Honor. Do you want me to put the particulars on the record?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
$2,137.52 in rent, $155 in costs, $2,292.52 is the total, with a writ to issue if the defendant fails to either pay or vacate by June 14.
Inasmuch as the defendant has failed to appear as duly scheduled, default judgment shall enter in favor of plaintiff and against defendant. Rent or retain possession, $2,137.52, cost of $155 for a total of $2,292.52 with a writ date of June 14th, 2021. You can submit that to Sandy by email.
Thank you. I will do that.
211944 LT, Columbia Court versus Stephen Demerjian.
Mark Landau on behalf of the plaintiff.
Mr. Landau, this matter was also scheduled for 9 o'clock. There is no one in the court's virtual waiting room by the name of Stephen Demirjian or any derivative therein. Inasmuch as the defendant has failed to appear this morning, how do you wish to proceed?
We would ask that the court enter a default judgment. This is a termination of tenancy action, Your Honor. The basis for the termination was a very, very serious health hazard condition. The conditions of his apartment unit are appalling. I've got all sorts of photos to that effect. And we are asking for an immediate writ pursuant to statute. The court is granting that during COVID. I will note that we did give notice pursuant to statute to Mr. Demerjian that we were going to be requesting an immediate writ. That notice is contained in our 7-day health hazard notice.
I'm looking at your notice to quit, Mr. Landau, and it indicates that the issue is that the defendant has failed to keep unit in safe and sanitary condition. There's trash, dirty clothes, and bottles on the floor. The bedroom window is not accessible. And inasmuch as the defendant was served by posting and has not appeared this morning, the court is not inclined to enter an immediate writ. I understand that it's listed in your complaint in this matter. And is it your assertion that per your client, this condition continues to exist?
Yes.
Mr. Landau, what I will do is if you want to submit a judgment, we can schedule a hearing on a writ, relatively short order.
I guess first things first, let's not put the cart before the horse. Let me know what you would like me to add or not add in the judgment, and then we take it from there.
Sandy, I see you're on. If there's any guidance that you'd like to give.
I'm sorry, Judge, I just got on and I was trying to get
That's
another
okay.
case.
That's okay. Mr. Landau, my only concern is that he wasn't personally served. If you want to
if it's
submit,
a concern for the court, then I'll just indicate the statutory 10 days, June 14th.
thank you, sir. And if you submit that to Sandy, I'd appreciate it.
Will do. Are there any special requirements?
Anything else this morning?
Or are there any special requirements in terms of submitting it, or just attach an email of the judgments and send it over to Sandy?
Electronically, like you always do, that's fine, just email.
Very good. All right, thank you very
Thank you,
much.
sir.
Good to see you.
Good to see
Have
you.
a
Have a
great
good
day.
day. Yes, sir. Thank you. Mary Ann,
Yes.
I'm gonna stop so you can do what you need to do.
Thank you. Hi, good morning, ma'am, with the glasses. Can you hear me? With the white turban, can you hear me? The person by the name of Tina's iPad, can you hear me?
Tina Green.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know where my picture ain't showing.
Ms. Green,
Yes,
your attorney is Mr. Robinson.
yes.
We've already called that case and handled that matter.
Okay,
You can call Mr. Robinson for an update.
thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, Miss Wilburn is here for 9 o'clock Miracle and Yeoman. They're not in the waiting room.
Mary, you're muffled some kind of weird way.
How you doing?
You were saying who's here and ready?
Can you hear me? Yeah,
I can hear you.
Okay, Miss Wilburn is here for the last name of Miracle and Yeoman. They are not in the waiting room.
What is that? 1943?
Correct.
This is 211943 LT Metro Commons versus Shannon Miracle and James Yeoman.
Good morning, Judge. Jen Wilburn, P83143 for the plaintiff.
Could you hear me? Hello?
I can hear you. I can't tell who's speaking though.
This is Kenya Wilcoxon versus Jonathan Wilcoxon.
Ms. Wilcoxon, we're not calling your matter as of yet. If you sit tight, we'll get to you as soon as we can.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Shannon Miracle? James Yeoman? Shannon Miracle? James Yeoman? This matter was scheduled for 9 o'clock. It's now 9:38 by the court's clock. Neither defendant have appeared this morning. There are no unidentified persons in the court's virtual waiting room. How do you wish to proceed, ma'am?
Judge, based on that, I would be asking for a default judgment for possession only. There is currently rent to retain of $881.96. Court costs
I'm
of
sorry, you froze,
$199 for a total.
Ma'am?
Yep.
You froze
Yes.
up there. 881?
$881.96. Court costs are $199 for a total of $1,080.96. A writ to issue after June 14th if that amount is not paid or defendants do not vacate.
This matter having been scheduled for 9 o'clock, it now being 9:38 by the court's clock, defendants having failed to appear, default judgment shall enter. Rent to retain is $881.96, cost of $199 for a total of $1,080.96 for the writ date of June 14th, 2021. Anything else this morning?
Nothing from me, Judge.
Have a good day, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, you as well.
Sir, with the cap on, and the glasses, can you hear me?
Yes,
What is your name, please?
Corey Dunn.
Thank you.
This is 211952 LT Kenya Wilcoxon versus Jonathan Wilcoxon. Ma'am, would you state your name for me, please?
Kenya Wilcoxon.
Ms. Wilcoxon, have you been in contact with Jonathan Wilcoxon?
Yes, I have. We are in the same home.
Oh. Jonathan Wilcoxon,
That's my son.
where is he?
I told him that he had a court date. He already know he got the paperwork and he said he's not coming.
Is he in the room with you right now?
No, he went to work.
He went to work.
Yes.
Ms. Wilcoxon, I'm not going to dive into this any deeper other than to say the matter was scheduled for 9 o'clock. It's now 9:40 by the court's clock. There is no one by the name of Jonathan Wilcoxon in the court's virtual waiting room. How do you wish to proceed this morning, ma'am?
Okay, is there any way that I can sit up there and get like something saying that he has to leave my premises with, instead of giving him like a eviction notice under his name where he can't get another place? But I do want him to leave the premises due to being violent and punching holes in the walls.
Ms. Wilcoxon, the court can't give you any legal advice on how you can proceed. What I will tell you is that the matter was scheduled for 9 o'clock. It's now 9:41 by the court's clock. Defendant has failed to appear. You can submit a default judgment to the court.
Okay, well, his eviction notice it is.
It's your case, ma'am. So it's either the default or dismissal.
You can do default.
I can't do a default. You have to submit it.
Okay, how do I do that?
You can contact the civil department.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Anything else this morning? Ms. Wilcoxon, anything else this morning?
Oh, no, anything. Okay, contact the civil department. How do you go about that? Like, who do I call?
How did you get the documents filed?
Oh, so I go to the 36th district, 34th district court.
You can call them and they'll talk. Sandy?
Yes, Judge. If you call us at 734, I can chat it to you or you can take it down. Okay, 734? 941. Yeah. 4462. Okay. And dial extension 211. Okay.
Thank you, Sandy. Anything else, ma'am?
No, thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Why? There's someone in here as an APA. Is that accurate?
Yes, Judge. This is Anna
What do you
Bickerstaff
have
from
this
the
morning?
prosecutor's office. I have a PCC for a Devon Simon.
No, you're in the wrong place. You need to be with Judge Oakley.
Oh, okay. Do you know the Zoom number?
Do you have his number?
No.
491-975-6074.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mary Ann, I was just trying to get rid of the people who only had one file. Mr. Cass can stay all day.
No problem. I got nothing else to do.
I thought you had 3 other courtrooms today. Wasn't
I
it
do.
your
I'm
story?
kidding.
There's only 2 defendants left. I'm getting to them right now, and then I'll take the defaults as quick as I possibly can. Marianne, you have to remind me next week. We have to have these in alphabetical order because this is,
Yeah, I agree.
Mr. Dunn,
Yes,
I'm looking for your case number. Are you here for a landlord-tenant case?
Judge, it's
Oh,
on
I
the
see
second
it.
page, bottom one.
Yep,
Okay.
yep. I see it. Good grief, Mary Ann, I'm telling you. 212045 LT Country Meadows versus Stephanie Dunn and Corey Dunn.
Yes.
Mr. Morton, I can't hear you even though your lips are moving.
Can you hear me now, Your Honor?
I can, thank you, sir.
Wonderful. I apologize for that. Your Honor, Attorney Ian Morton of Palace Law on behalf of Country Meadows P67892.
State your name for me, Mr. Dunn.
Corey Dunn.
And where is Stephanie Dunn?
She's currently at work right now.
Thank you. When the parties appeared back on, it says May 26th, there's an indication that the defendant is to provide Sarah information. Have you received that, or has your office received that, Mr. Morton?
No, my client hasn't been able to confirm that for me, so I'd look for Mr. Dunn to be able to advise as to the status of the SERA application.
Mr. Dunn, do you have that
Sorry,
information?
What information is he saying? I didn't really understand what he said.
Your SERA application number, your confirmation number.
I do not have the confirmation number at this time because when I filled out the application or attempted to, they needed some of my check stubs, and everything is on. They switched everything online at work, so I don't receive them in the mail because I direct deposit. And the HR lady is off. She got married, was off for the holiday, and I'm in the process of getting that all to confirm my application. Everything else is filled out, but that.
Your Honor, if I may.
Absolutely.
Your Honor, my office is here next week in front of you as well at 9 o'clock. I believe Mr. Dunn is efforting to be able to do this. So we have no objection if the court would like to adjourn this matter one more week to allow him to formally submit those documentation to be able to have it processed. And to be full in front with the court, my client is not filling out the landlord application, but they are actively providing documentation as required and as necessary to assist in this process. So based on those things, I have no objection if we want to adjourn it 1 week so we can then get that process in place.
Mr. Dunn, do you have any objection to adjourning this matter?
No, I appreciate that very much to give me a little more time to try to get this all figured out.
We'll put this matter over 1 week. We'll see you back here.
Okay.
Good grief. I went back in time to May 26th. I'm just making updates now. We'll put the matter over 1 week to June the 9th at 9 a.m. We'll see you next week, Mr. Dunn.
Okay, thank you very much, Judge, and thank you, sir. Ian.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Trying to get this one unidentified person to turn their video on.
I think we had the same problem last week. Might be one of mine.
Why am I not surprised? I can't shoot. Mary Ann, I tell you.
I just sent them a chat also.
Thank you. We're gonna give it a minute, then I'll take the defaults, and I'm trying to see who has the fewest cases. And it looks like it doesn't matter at this point. Mary Ann, I'm gonna just. Yeah, the Galaxy doesn't even appear to have audio. I'm gonna put them out and hopefully they'll come back. I'm gonna start taking the defaults. If they come back, just let them in, please.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. This is 211878 Pinewood Circle versus Brandy Walker. This matter was scheduled for hearing on a non-payment of rent case at 9 o'clock. It's now 9:49 by the court's clock. Mr. Katz?
Good morning, Your Honor. Sidney Katz, P51471, on behalf of the plaintiff. Your Honor, this is a non-payment rent possession judgment case. Defendant has failed to appear for a second time, requesting a default judgment. The current rent owed is $2,767, $152 of cost for a total of $2,919, requesting a default judgment in that amount with the writ to be issued after June the 14th. Your Honor.
Wait, what did you say your costs were?
$152.
152, thank you.
It's a bargain.
Inasmuch as the defendant has failed to appear as duly scheduled, default judgment enter in favor of plaintiff against defendant, rent to retain $2,767, $152 in court costs for a total of $2,919, writ date of June the 14th. Anything else in this matter, Mr. Katz?
No, Your Honor.
This is 211879 LT Pinewood Circle versus Tahisha Roberts. This matter was scheduled for 9 o'clock. It's now 9:50 by the court's clock. There's no one by the name of Roberts in the court's virtual waiting room. How do you wish to proceed, Mr. Katz?
Your Honor, this is a non-payment rent possession judgment case. Defendant has failed to appear for a second time, requesting a default judgment. Rent due is $2,455, costs of $152 for a total of $2,607, requesting a default judgment in that amount with the writ to be issued after June the 14th.
Inasmuch as the defendant has failed to appear, a scheduled default judgment will enter in favor of plaintiff against defendant, rent to retain $2,455, $152 in costs for a total of $2,607, writ date of June the 14th. Anything else in this matter, Mr. Katz?
No, Your Honor.
As for 211883 LT Barrington versus Tyron Cooper, the court received a dismissal from the plaintiff this morning, has signed it. It's already downstairs with the court clerk for processing.
Thank you.
And the same in 21187 LT Pinewood Circle versus Byron Bradley. The dismissal was signed earlier this morning. 211884 LT Barrington Romulus versus Rochelle White. Matter was scheduled for hearing at 9 o'clock. It's now 9:52 by the court's clock. There's no one by the name of Rochelle White in the court's virtual waiting room. How do you wish to proceed, Mr. Katz?
Your Honor, this is a SARA application. I think there are a few of my cases that I indicated have SARA apps, so we could put a stay on it.
Inasmuch as the plaintiff is indicating there's a SARA application outstanding, an administrative stay will be placed on the matter. Notation will be made in the file.
Thank you.
This is 211886 LT Barrington Romulus versus Gerald Flint. Matter scheduled for hearing at 9 o'clock is now 9:52 by the court's clock. Mr. Katz?
Same as the prior. This is also a SARA application, Your Honor.
Inasmuch as plaintiff is indicating that there's a SARA application outstanding, the court will put administrative stay in place in the matter. Notation's been made in the file. This is 211887 LT Barrington Romulus versus Kari Walker. The matter scheduled for hearing at 9 o'clock is now 9:53 by the court's clock. Defendants failed to appear. There's no one in the court's virtual waiting room by that name. Mr. Katz?
Also a SARA application, Your Honor.
Inasmuch as plaintiff's attorney is indicating there's a SARA application outstanding, administrative stay will be placed in the file in this matter. Notation's been made. This is 211888 LT Barrington Romulus versus Berlinda Jones. The court previously received a dismissal from plaintiff's attorney. This matter signed it earlier today. And the file's already downstairs with the court's clerk. This is 211892 LT Barrington Romulus versus Sharika Parchment. This matter was scheduled for 9 o'clock. It's now 9:53 a.m. by the court's clock. There's no one by that name in the court's virtual waiting room. Mr. Katz, how are we proceeding?
Good morning, Your Honor. City Cast P51471 on behalf of the plaintiff. Your Honor, this is a non-payment rent possession judgment case. Defendant has failed to appear for a second time, requesting a default judgment in the amount of $3,367 in rent, $152 in costs for a total of $3,519, requesting default judgment in that amount with writ to be issued after June the 14th.
Inasmuch as the defendant has failed to appear this morning, default judgment shall enter in favor of plaintiff and against defendant with writ to retain of $3,367, court costs of $152 for a total of $3,519 with a writ date of June the 14th, 2021.
I believe that's it.
Mr. Katz, I believe that's it. If you submit your judgments to Sandy, I'll sign them and get them back out to you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Thank you. Have a good day. This is 212031 LT Country Metals versus Jarrett Bailey. Matter scheduled for 9 o'clock. It's now 9:54 by the court's clock. Appearance, please.
Your Honor, for the record, Attorney Ian Morton of Pallets Law on behalf of Country Metals P67892. Your Honor, based on Mr. Bailey's failure to appear, we're asking a default judgment for possession be entered at this time. Mr. Bailey failed to appear at the first hearing. At this time, rents retained are $5,197.12, court cost of $158 for a total of $5,355.12. Again, possession only action, Your Honor.
And as much as defendant has failed to appear this morning, default judgment for possession will enter, rent to retain $5,197.12, $158 in court costs for a total of $5,355.12. Writ date of June the 14th. Anything else in this matter, Mr. Morton?
No, Your Honor.
This is 212035 LT Country Metals versus Jordan Mead. This matter was also scheduled at 9 o'clock. It's now 9:55 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, there being no one in the court's virtual waiting room. Appearance.
Your Honor, for the record, Ian Morton, Pallets Law P67892. Based on Mr. Mead's failure to appear, we're asking a default judgment for possession only be entered. And this is the second time for the defendant's failure to appear. Rents retained is $639.12. Court cost of $158 for a total of $797.12.
And as much as defendant has failed to appear, default judgment shall enter in the amount requested. Rent of $639.12, court cost of $158 for a total of $797.12. Mr. Nichols, what are you here for?
Your Honor, can you hear me?
I can.
Hi, I'm here on Kirkridge Park Cooperative versus Ashley Kroll.
Versus, what's the case number?
Case number is 21-2138 LT.
Judge, he should be on my resolve.
Thank you. You're in the wrong place, sir. Mr. Morton, we're back. 212036 LT Country Metals versus Philip Rubino. Matter scheduled for 9 o'clock is now 9:57 a.m. by the court's clock. There's no one in the court's virtual waiting room. Mr. Morton, as much as defendant has failed to appear, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, Ian Morton, Pallets Law P67892. Based on the defendant's failed to appear for the second time, we're asking a default judgment for possession only be entered. Rents retained is $1,403.68. Court cost of $158 for a total of $1,561.68. Again, this is a possession only action for non-payment of rent.
And as much as defendant has failed to appear, default judgment shall enter as indicated by the plaintiff's attorney, $1,403.68 to retain possession. Court cost of $158 for a total of $1,561.68. Anything else in this matter, Mr. Morton?
No, Your Honor.
This is 212038 LT Country Metals versus Lawrence Smothers. This matter was scheduled for 9 o'clock. It's now 9:58 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendants failed to appear. There's no one by that name in the court's virtual waiting room. Mr. Morton, how do you wish to proceed?
Your Honor, Attorney Ian Morton on behalf of Country Metals P67892. Based on Mr. Smothers' failure to appear, we're asking a default judgment for possession be entered. Rents retained is $1,405.66. Court cost of $158 for a total of $1,563.66. A default judgment for possession only, Your Honor.
And as much as defendant has failed to appear, default judgment for possession will enter. Rent to retain of $1,405.66, $158 in court costs for a total of $1,563.66. There's someone connecting now. We're gonna slow for just 1 second so we can get this person identified. Ma'am, you have to join by you have to connect your audio. Can you hear me? Ma'am? Marianne, I can't.
You're almost there.
I know.
I'm gonna send her a chat.
I think you tried that before. And I can't see a way to connect the audio. You want to chat? I'm going to leave her in there. If you're able to connect with her, she responds. This is 212043 LT Country Metals versus Andrea Keister and James Keister. This matter was scheduled for 9 o'clock. It's now 10:01 by the court's clock. There is no one in the court's virtual waiting room. Mr. Morton, how are we proceeding in this matter?
Your Honor, in regards to this matter, my office, the court hasn't received it. We're moving forward to dismiss this matter without prejudice, Your Honor.
I'll make an indication that the court's waiting for a dismissal from plaintiff's attorney. Thank you, sir. This is 212046 LT Country Metals versus Daniel Decker II and Robin Decker. This matter was scheduled for hearing at 9 a.m. It's now 10:01 by the court's clock. There are no unidentified persons in the court's virtual waiting room. Mr. Morton, how do you wish to proceed?
Again, Your Honor, we're going to move to dismiss this matter without prejudice.
There'll be a notation in the file that the court's awaiting a dismissal without prejudice from plaintiff's attorney. This is 212047 LT Country Metals versus Richard Bowman and Melissa Bowman. This matter was scheduled for 10 o'clock. This matter was scheduled for 9 o'clock. It's now 10:02 by the court's clock. There's no one by the name of Bowman in the court's virtual waiting room. Mr. Morton, how do you wish to proceed?
Your Honor, for the record, Ian Morton, P67892 on behalf of the plaintiff. Based on the Bowman's failed to appear, we're asking a default judgment for possession to be entered. Rents retained are $820.80. Court costs of $176 for a total of $996.80. Again, this is a default judgment for possession only.
Inasmuch as defendants have failed to appear, default judgment shall enter as indicated by the plaintiff. Rent to retain of $820.80. Court cost of $176 for a total of $996.80. Thank you. 212061 LT G&I 9 Harbor Club versus Brandon Beck. This matter was scheduled for 9 o'clock. It's now 10:02 by the court's clock. There's no unidentified persons in the court's virtual waiting room. Mr. Morton, how do you wish to proceed?
Your Honor, this matter, just for the record, Ian Morton of Palace Law on behalf of, the plaintiff P67892. Your Honor, Mr. Beck who confirmed at the initial hearing that advised he vacated. My client has confirmed that. And I communicated with him this morning, advised him our intent is to dismiss this matter as he has vacated the unit, left personal property, which my client will dispose of. So at this time, we will be submitting a dismissal without prejudice on this matter.
I'll make an indication in the file that the court's awaiting a dismissal from plaintiff's attorney. Thank you. 212067 LT G&I 9 Harbor Club versus Deshard Gatewood. This matter was scheduled for 9 o'clock. It's now 10:03 a.m. by the court's clock. There being no unidentified persons in the court's virtual waiting room. Mr. Morton, how do you wish to proceed?
Your Honor, at this time, we'd ask a default judgment for possession to be entered. I'm sorry, Your Honor, for the record, Ian Morton of Palace Law on behalf of the landlord, P67892. Rents retained are $6,016.75. Court costs of $167 for a total of $6,183.75. And this is a default judgment for possession only.
Inasmuch as the defendant has failed to appear this morning, default judgment shall enter as prayed by plaintiff with rent to retain of $6,016.75. There's $167 in court costs for a total of $6,183.75. Thank you, sir. I see there's an indication that the person that we have with no audio is Berlinda Jones, and I will indicate to Ms. Jones that, Mary Ann. Ms. Jones had an audio issue when the parties originally appeared. This matter has been dismissed. The court signed the dismissal this morning. Mary Ann, if you could re-chat to her that the case has been dismissed and the civil department will be mailing a dismissal to her. I'd appreciate it. This is 212065 LT GNI 9 Harbor Club versus Kobe Miller. This matter was scheduled for 9 o'clock. It's now 10:05 by the court's clock. There being no unidentified persons in the court's virtual waiting room. Mr. Morton, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, Ian Morton, P67892 on behalf of the plaintiff. We would ask a default judgment for possession be entered against the defendant. Rents retained is $924.91. Court cost of $167 for a total of $1,091.91. Again, this is a possession-only action for non-payment of rent.
Inasmuch as the defendant has failed to appear, default judgment shall enter as requested by plaintiff. Rent to retain of $924.91. Court cost of $167 for a total of $1,091.91. 212067 LT GNI 9 Harbor Club versus Kayla Morris. This matter was also scheduled for 9 o'clock. It's now 10:06 by the court's clock. There being no unidentified persons in the court's virtual waiting room. Mr. Morton, how do you wish to proceed?
Your Honor, Ian Morton for the plaintiff, P67892. Based on Ms. Morris's failure to appear at the original hearing and this hearing, we'd ask a default judgment for possession to be entered. Rents retained is $6,397.59. Court cost of $167 for a total of $6,564.59.
Inasmuch as the defendant has failed to appear, default judgment shall enter as requested by plaintiff's attorney for a total rent to retain of $6,397.59. Court cost of $167 for a total of $6,564.59. 212069 LT GNI versus Wesley Barnes Jr. and Theron Barnes. This matter was scheduled for 9 o'clock. It's now 10:07 by the court's clock. There being no persons in the court's virtual waiting room, no one by the last name of Barnes. Mr. Morton, how are we proceeding in this matter?
Your Honor, at this time, based on Mr. and Mrs. Barnes' failure to appear, we're asking a default judgment for possession to be entered. Rents retained is $5,775. Court cost of $189 for a total of $5,964.00. Again, this is a possession-only action for non-payment of rent.
Inasmuch as neither defendant appeared for this morning, default judgment shall enter as prayed by plaintiff's attorney. Rent to retain of $5,775, cost of $189 for a total of $5,964. 212072 LT Rawsonville Woods versus Justin Fullalove. This matter was scheduled for 9 o'clock. It is now 10:08 by the court's clock. There being no persons in the court's virtual waiting room. Mr. Morton, defendant having failed to appear. Mr. Morton, how do you wish to proceed?
Your Honor, at this time, I spoke to my client this morning. Mr. Fullalove had advised that he may be seeking SARE assistance. My client has not received an application, and they checked, as recently as yesterday. So based on that, my client wishes to move forward to seek a default judgment for possession. Rents retained is $1,438.20. Court cost of $166 for a total of $1,604.20.
Inasmuch as defendant has failed to appear this morning, default judgment shall enter as prayed by plaintiff with rent to retain of $1,438.20, $167 in court costs for a total of $1,604.20. 212074 LT Rawsonville Woods versus Austin McDaniel. This matter was scheduled for 9 o'clock. It's now 10:09 by the court's clock. There being no persons in the court's virtual waiting room. Mr. Morton, how do you wish to proceed?
Your Honor, based on Mr. McDaniel's failure to appear, we're asking a default judgment for possession be entered. Rents retained is $2,700.35. Court costs of $166, a total of $2,866.35. Again, this is a possession-only action for non-payment of rent.
Inasmuch as the defendant has failed to appear, default judgment shall enter as prayed by plaintiff's attorney. Rent to retain of $2,700.35, cost of $166 for a total of $2,866.35. Mr. Morton, I believe that concludes your docket with the court this morning. If you will be so kind as to submit your judgments and your dismissals to the civil department, they will be signed. Anything else this morning?
No, Your Honor, we'll have that processed and sent over to the court today.
Thank you, Mr. Morton. Have a good day.
You as well, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Marianne, leave up Zoom, go off of YouTube. You can stop recording. We're just waiting for Mr. Brand to return with Mr. Herman.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.